John, tell me about well, first of all, I got to ask you, doesn't this plastic melt when it starts up?
Yeah, surprisingly enough. And also, if you notice, there's not a lot of electronics in this one.
No.
So, actually, what we like to do is we like to show everybody what's inside one of these, because one of the things that we always get with a tankless water heater is, guys coming from just installing a tank, no electricity, thermocouple, and away you go, really, is the complexity of these. And we like to show off the fact that these things aren't actually that much different, really, when you come down to it. You have a gas valve, burner assembly in here, ignition source, and then the big thing for us is the two heat exchangers. The fact that we're one of the only people out there now with a condensing water heater.
Okay.
So we have the wet recuperative section up here, which really reduces our flue gas temperature down to about 130 degrees, allows us to run in Schedule 40 PVC on the vent style, which is amazing for the installation.
That is. How far can you go on the venting?
45 feet, 3 elbows, so decent amount of room.
That's
on
neat.
These things. And then we like to obviously polish up the brasswork for...
Oh, it doesn't look like this all the time?
Well, actually, all of these are insulated because they're cold, but it looks nice, and,
it does.
Like I say, we try to show off the fact that it is actually pretty simple inside.
Yeah. What's the difference between these two?
Capacity, this one is actually 199,000 BTUs. We do 180 and 199 in one chassis size. This is a 99 or a 120, so it's a smaller chassis. Different horses for courses. This is your larger custom home, 7-8 gallons a minute max flow. This is your smaller condo / cottage, 2-people house, 5 gallons a minute, 4 gallons a minute.
7-8 gallons a minute forever?
Yeah, forever, continuous.
That's neat.
As long as you're in the shower, it's giving the hot water, so you
Okay.
can get in there and stay nice and pruny.
So we could fill that hot tub?
We would fill the hot tub and have some leftover for the shower afterwards.
That's great. How much does it weigh?
This one weighs about 45, 50 pounds. So
easy to install.
Easy to install. And the other thing that's neat with us is, because we always have an eye on the service guy, so many of these things get installed and nobody ever puts the isolation valve kits on them. So we actually provide the isolation kits. When you buy the unit, it comes with the isolation kit.
Okay.
So we try to make it a little easier on the service side for everybody.
And you can get your hands in there.
Well,
I always ask that.
Yeah, I mean, the 120 is a little smaller, but the 180 and the 199 certainly a lot of room to be able to maneuver inside there. The big thing that we're showing on this one is our new tandem controller, which is the little PC board right down here. Allows us to link up to 5 units together for larger applications. You see a lot of homes with maybe 2 of these units, one doing the master bath and one doing the kitchen and the rest of the laundry. But 4 or 5 is generally the preserve of a hotel or a school or apartment block or something like that. But the neat thing about ours is that you can hook up to 5 of these units together, and then you can hook up another 5 next door to it, and then the next door to it, and you can do it up to 125 units all linked together. So if you have a real big apartment or a housing complex, you could actually have banks and banks of these things
in very small space.
Yeah, I mean, that's the great thing about it. You think about, with these units, 100-gallon, you mentioned the hot tub or the Roman faucet or the big bath that everyone has, the Whirlpool bath. And I mean, to really heat one of those, you need an 80 or 100-gallon tank, and that takes out a huge amount of room. It's okay in New England and stuff like that, we have basements, but you come out to California and all those areas, no basement, you've got to take up a lot of room. So with these units, as you can see, up there, it's up above the sink or the vanity. The one in my house is, it's nestled in a little closet, and then the wife has a little vanity underneath it to do something, whatever she needs to do in it. But it's a nice way of saving a lot of space.
Great. I like it.
Yeah, these are great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Something new.
Well, yes. I mean, something new for the industry, although we've been trying to do these things since about 2001. Combination. Heating and domestic. As I say, Europe is huge on these things. I mean, in fact, I believe the UK has mandated that everything has to be in new construction 90% combi.
Yeah.
Where you heat with a radiator, radiant floor, those kind of baseboard. Here in the US, we're bringing them out and trying to, really show that you can do some things, big things in little packages. What you have here is the ability, in a condensing unit, 90% AFUE, to provide not only your heating side, as I say, radiant. We do a lot with air handlers. We do a little baseboard, but also on-demand hot water. So you jump into the shower, the unit has a secondary purpose as a secondary heat exchanger right back in the corner there.
I see that.
That does your domestic. So you have separation between potable and non-potable. So, you know, code issues and things like that. You have built-in priority, takes care of all of that, and you can have a nice, easy, on-demand shower.
Can you show me how the water's flowing through here?
Yeah, well, basically you've got 4 connections at the bottom here, and you've got this is the water, heating water on the 2 far outside here. So this is your return from your heating loop, primary loop pump in here. You're going to come up here into your secondary heat exchanger, through into the primary heat exchanger, and then down into this 3-way valve that you have right here. The 3-way valve allows flow into either the heating loop, or should you trigger it for domestic, it switches over, it closes, and pushes the water through the plate heat exchanger on the domestic, where it just recirculates inside the unit and then creates your domestic hot water. Then once the demand's off, this will open back up again and flow resumed back out to your heating loop.
And it's a flow switch?
It's a flow switch.
Domestic?
Yeah, about half a gallon to 0.7 of a gallon. Clicks the domestic on, and it'll produce domestic as long as you're in the shower or as long as you have that faucet running.
What's the BTUs on the heating side that this will do?
This is a 120,000 BTU unit. This is our main seller, I would say, on here. Although, because of the American appetite for domestic hot water, one of the things we just introduced is a 199,000 version of this unit. 199,000 BTUs, both heating side and domestic side. Not so much use on the heating side, but it has the turn down ratio, goes down to about 20,000 BTUs, so great turn down ratio. We do it for the guy that has to have 5 or 6 gallons a minute. It's like, I want to do this, I want to do some radiant floor, but I've got the big Whirlpool tub, I've got the big shower head, I want that domestic water. And that was the biggest thing with these units, is that they were great for doing the domestic side or the heating side, but the domestic side, not so much. They're limited. 3 or 4 gallons a minute is about where you're at. So what we needed to do is bring out the new product, which was much larger BTUs on the domestic side. Now you've got your 6 or 7. You can do that tub, you can do that shower.
It's amazing how small it is.
Well, yeah, this one is a lot of stuff packed into a box, but what we're trying to do is go for that space saving as well. Where we aim these things at is the townhouse, the stacked living kind of thing. We do a lot of condos, but we also do a lot of single families with these. You'd be surprised how many people really like the fact that they can reclaim. If you want to redo your basement, say in the New England or that marketplace, out goes the old big cast iron boiler, out goes the hot water tank or the indirect, in goes this. Yeah. All of a sudden, floor space is really widened.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about what I have at home, and the relay's about this size.
Well, Dan, I mean, that's the way we used to do things, but it used to work, but now, we move up to the 90% AFUEs, and you want to go green, you go to these smaller style products.
Something else, huh? Thanks, John.
Thanks.